Okay, folks, so wanted to show you this deck I've been playing around with a little bit here. I'm recording this off stream, so no chat to distract me. This is, as you can see, an Invigorating Sermon deck, all about using Invigorating Sermon and buffing your deck, which is full of Divine Shield minions and Rush minions and Wind Fury minions even, to help, of course, put these stats into action in a pretty scary and intimidating way. And wow, a lot of stuff. I love it. And of course, having a full hand of minions is cool when you got an Invigorating Sermon, although we're probably gonna have to play these out for tempo because we are still, you know, I wouldn't call this an aggro deck by any means. It's really more of a mid-range deck through and through. The goal of which means, you know, just eventually stabilizing a pretty big board in the mid to late game and whacking your opponent with some big Divine Shield dudes or Tyrians or Alexstrazas, whatever it might be. And fun little tricks in this deck. Knight of Anointment is guaranteed to draw you the Invigorating Sermon, so you can actually tutor it out of your deck pretty easily, making it much more likely you find your buildish around card. Allura can also cast an Invigorating Sermon as well, kind of like Ramp Paladin used to do with Tip the Scales. Now, you'll note I'm not running like Wand Makers, and I am running First Day of School, so that is not like a guaranteed thing. Playing towards the Allura payoff, and I think that's correct, by the way, a little bit by design there, because all right, let's see if this shuts down a turn 4 Lunacy with the Omayog on the coin, or just sets me up for the Sermon on this pretty decent board here with the Omayog to protect this stuff. Anyway, Invigorating Sermon is not quite the like, game-winning payoff that Tip the Scales is, right? So building your entire deck for like an Allura payoff is not quite as reasonable in this list. It's just kind of a bonus sometimes, like a little free 50-50 or whatever. Backstab's pretty good here. Ping now clears up like half my board for this Sermon. It's kind of tough. They might like Devolving Missiles instead, which I don't even think I care that much. Cone of Cold is insane. Okay, sure. Still gonna do this. Hand is weird. I mean, to be clear, this is not a great deck, right? You're gonna have weird hands sometimes. This deck is for fun to play a weird deck, and you know, it's competitive enough. It wins on occasion. It's an okay deck by my deck power levels in the description, I would say. Brain Freeze Ping. Ugh. Runthak is definitely going to push us towards a pretty late game focus here. Which, I guess if they... Oh, they did not ping, and they killed off their Trick Totem for me. Thank you. Very cool. We're going to have some power plays, I mean, at some point here, right? But can they keep up? Will they hit Lunacy? All these questions and more. This game's going on YouTube regardless. I don't even care. Like, even if I get blown out, it's just, it's the YouTube game, so enjoy. Wow, did that come off the keyword? No, that came out of deck because it was discounted by Incanter's Flow. Okay. It's not a bad minion, though. We could actually go for another Invigorating Sermon here. Really stack the deck up. It's kind of cool. These are both going to be 3/3s, so they can trade. We can still go face for a bunch. It's a little early on the Broom, but I honestly have quite a bit of reactivity already in hand between the Plunderer and the Selene. Might be a little tough to get this Voracious Reader to look good soon. If I hit a 1-mana card, I could. Knight of Anointment, it'd be decent to draw 2 next turn. Otherwise, it might draw 1 or might have to divert into a higher mana play to fill in the gap. So, I mean, look, we're ahead. We've dealt some damage. This could be worse. Need them to have, like, this needs to be like a big, I don't know what, big minion. Are there any big mage minions even left? I'm trying to think of anything. Nothing really comes to mind. Apex's Blast can give you some good targets if it's still around by that turn. Alexstrazo. So yeah, this is what we were worried about, right? Not the best draw But honestly, still a pretty good board. And I mean, this is a 3/5 is obviously way more annoying than as a 1/3, so they're gonna have to react. Yeah. Oh, I did not position well around combustion. Oh god, that's gonna get punished. At least you know I see these things, and it's not just Twitch chat that helps me. A little late to see it, but hey. I mean, god, is this the 2-card punch that's enough? Oh, punish so hard. Oh god. Oh no. Maybe I'm just gonna say I wanted them to commit that mana so that I could play a 10-3. That's not the answer. Oh my god, Coerce coming in. Do I play a 10-3? I don't think so, but man, that's interesting. I'm pretty glad to have baited that Coerce on such a weak minion, though. Like, we have way better minions incoming. This is 10, 18 damage right now. If they have anything on board, I think I'd, of course, rather prefer the Natalie. She's going to potentially get buffed again by Runthak. This guy's crazy cool looking, by the way. It's nice to see an actual hand buff card work, which is what we talked about when we reviewed this card, right? It's like, it finally is a hand buff card that gets to do something immediately because it has a rush. So you're not giving up like just crazy tempo for your hand buff cards, which is what always used to happen. Oh man, Mirror Entity's scary with this particular hand. Hopefully we can identify the secrets without having to commit these. Or maybe I hit like a 1-drop and then... Oh, I don't know. We may have to do this anyway. Yeah, Knight of Anointment might be the best draw on the deck, actually, just to guarantee, or even Broom might have to. They have another Coerce. I can't believe it. Ugh, that's frustrating. Oh, I knew they had another Coerce. That was off of Keyword and Ivory. Obviously, they have another Coerce. I forgot she got spell bursted by the devolving missiles. Oh my god, this is a much better mirror entity target because it's, you know, it's big obviously, but it's not as threatening as a 6 attack minion. Let's go here first, right? We might be able to see if we can get a barrier through. Okay, and of course this here is a great draw just because it's so meaty and so many resources for later. I think they might have picked like Oasis LA or Rigged Fair Game here, by the way. Okay, sick. Big minion for the second Coerce. I mean, now that the second Coerce is gone, let me say that again. I think we're in a pretty good spot here, despite my stupidity on occasion, or regularly perhaps. I think we're in a decent spot. Mage, of course, can always rip games out from under you. Sometimes they have those crazy turns. Larian Prime, Deck of Lunacy still potentially a threat. This is actually usually pretty good as a devolving missiles target. Maybe not when you hit it twice. I wish. Oh, that's not bad though. Holy crap! I could deal extra damage to that with Ysera Awakens. I don't think I'm going to, but I could. Now that we know Mirror Entity's not a threat, we can definitely go with a Selene. Even on this smaller minion, it might just be worth it, right? Fireball the minion. I love it. That really reduces their late game depth. They don't have, like, you know, a Cthulhu, so... Ooh, that makes me want to hold the... Yeah, that makes me sort of want to hold... Oh my god, is it just Tyrion instead? I think it is. They just used their second evolving missiles, so the death rattle on this might actually be fairly safe. Positioning here, I don't know. Combustions are gone. Kona Cold, this is a little better, I think. For now, anyway. Now that they have 3 minions in hand, though, right? This might be better against one of those bigger minions. It may not be bigger, but it could be. This is only 2 extra health, so it's not much. Another fireball? Oh, brain freeze? Yeah. Okay, I can live with a brain freeze. I mean, it's a pretty good clear here, really, but... Oh, Jandis might give me a Selene target, but I might have to use Ysera Awakens. Do they trade this? Second question is, do I kill the 5/6 or do I leave it and go face? Could use a Broom also and save my Ysera Awakens, actually. That might be the real play, because this is pretty nuts now. We haven't We have not procced an Oasis ally, though, so the question is how much we want to respect that. Maybe we just dream it, honestly. Maybe we just dream it, because I do like this quite a bit. Not an Oasis ally, so it's spell-based, which is, of course, great for us. We don't have hardly any spells. I mean, we have these, of course, but we don't need these yet. All right. That was a good turn. Tyrion's loaded up with a weapon. We have Alex to go face. We have Nightmare to potentially go face if it doesn't get counterspelled. We have 10-9 on board. I'm happy. I even positioned this well for a Cone of Cold. Somehow, magically. I'll be honest, it was an accident. It was not a it's not an intentional decision. That happens. Brain freeze, sure. Stall it out. That's fine, really. I don't mind. They're using so much value here. And we still have quite a bit available. And, you know, every draw now is pretty good for us, honestly. I mean, I guess Night of Anointment's not good, but we have a couple turns for dead draws we need them. But, like, Ogremancer's insane. Cariel's great. Samuro we can work with, right? Even, like, these are now buffed twice by Invigorating Sermons, right? So they're like 4 or 5. It's not bad at all. It's a Yeti. Doesn't draw anything, but still. They're so on the back foot here. It's pretty great. More secrets are a bit annoying, though. Troublesome to figure out. To decide how much we want to respect this or not. Theoretically 6-11 damage, so we're not quite on a lethal yet. Remember, this does not go face. Actually, if we Nightmare, are we on lethal here? Depends on if it's an ice barrier or not, right? It's probably always barrier is my guess. I think if it wasn't barrier, we might have had a lethal. We could have just dreamed to test. We could have Nightmared. Oh, but I would have needed to use this for the Nightmares, so... If it hadn't been barrier, I might have thrown a lethal without attack order. 7 plus 8 is 15 plus 5 is 23. Yeah, we would have thrown a lethal there, I think, if I hadn't seen a barrier. Thankfully, we're fine. Yeah, I think we don't want to. I think we want to make sure we don't give them a great mirror entity here. Unfortunately, I don't really have that luxury. I could dream this 7-6. I definitely don't want to dream the 4-4. I don't want to give them a Murger either. Things could just go hairy there. So let's not do that. I'm not gonna hit the minion. Am I gonna dream? It's the question. I'm worried about like Cone of Colds. I'm worried about Flame Strikes, and I'm worried about proccing another Wind Portals. I don't think so. Flame Strike's a bit of a problem for me anyway. Honestly, I don't know. We'll see. Cram Session. I mean, that's always scary. Yeah, Flame Strike's really good, actually. I don't know about this. Like, I gotta make him do it, but... I don't know. This was kind of exposed to it because of the spell damage. But I also don't want to hit this because then I proc a potential Oasis ally, and that's got issues too. So, I don't know. Maybe Dream was right here, but then you don't want to give them the Discover. I don't know. It's tough. Would have loved like a Cariel just to give me a little bit more trade flexibility. He's trading that in. Must be like a Cone of Cold, but you're going to have to hit the 10-5 with it? Fireball. Yeah, I'm going to hit the 10-5. Okay. So, oh, a Pexus Blast. Oh, okay, weird. What is this trade about? Why not take damage out of play? Maybe they thought they were going to ping it and realize it can't be targeted? I guess so, yeah. I don't know. We definitely had lethal, though. Not perfectly played. Let's be clear. Not the cleanest game, but a good showcase of the deck nonetheless. That was pretty cool. Okay, after conceding 47 games against Mage and Hunter, that's the only matchups out there. And frankly, this deck sucks against Hunters, so don't play if you're single on Hunters. We finally get a Priest. I'm so excited to play a different game. You win or lose, it's just nice to see a different deck. Okay, so Night of Anointment is exactly what we want. Priest in particular, I think, is a matchup where Invigorating Sermon has some time to shine. Like, the game stretches on long enough that buffs stacking up probably matters. So the challenge, of course, is going to be sticking enough minions to get enough minion damage, overwhelming with stats. We did, pretty decent damage output with Tyrion and Alexstrasza late. Even Ysera can pump some damage as well. So the goal for us here will be to stick stuff, hit them hard, and win the game. Need to be mindful of various removal spells, Cthulhu cards, etc. But we can't win this if we go all the way to Cthulhu, most likely. Although, I don't know, I have played this deck actually to some pretty crazy late game scenarios. I think I have a priest game actually that I played to like... Trying to see my stats here. Maybe making this up, but I thought I had a really... Oh no, it was a Paladin game. It was a 19-minute game nonetheless. Anyway, Knight of Anointment on 1 is perfect. Red Scale Dragon Tamer is certainly great on 2 as well. I don't think we'll need this to react much, so this is good to get us that Alex and Ysera in hand as soon as possible. Make sure all of our other draws help us hit our curve as reliably as we can. We could play Cariel on 3 if needed. If this is like a, got a Sethic or a Nazmani or something in here that we have to deal with by that time, could help. Also, just reducing the Invigorating Sermon is cool. Which, by the way, it's not really the reason Cariel's in this deck. I mean, it's a fine bonus. Cariel's just a great Divine Shield minion once she's been buffed. 4/3 Divine Shield Rush is exactly what this deck needs. If I could make half my minions that in various mana breakpoints and stuff, if I could have 3 mana 3/2 Divine Shield Rushes, which there is one which I cut, but it's a conversation for another day. The corrupting was a little slow, etc., etc. That would be exactly what this deck needs. And you know what? I think this is a pretty decent Cariel. Just deny that thing from getting a little too easy at trades. So I don't think we want to Broom just yet. It feels a tad early. That said, that means Sermon is going to float some mana potentially. Cariel's discount sort of doing nothing. But let's see. We may want to kill who knows what. This could help. There is an argument to develop more stuff next turn as opposed to going for an Invigorating Sermon. If we think it's going to stick this early against Mage, which frankly I think is a reasonable idea. We still have some pretty good breakpoints for the ranked spell for Priest. Well, I can't think of what it's called. Oh, Hysteria. Never mind. Everything's over. We are going to get this very cheap now, though. Wow. It's 1 mana. So, slight upside. Still not really the best breakpoints for us, but that's okay. McGurger it is. No brooms yet. Brooms are going to be too good. I need to actually hit some cards, though. We're like finding an almost impossibly unlikely spot where we only have high cost or utility cards in hand when like literally 90% of our deck is not that. 90% of our deck is minions that you play on curve and stuff. I do actually want to revisit that last turn though a second. I wonder if I shouldn't have just played this Crab Rider because it was more on curve, and then I could have squeezed in the Invigorating Sermon on a future turn, like Hero Power Sermon Protector. The downside is like it's a smaller minion, it's a little bit easier to clear and stuff, but it would have been preemptively there to hit face harder too if it stuck. I don't know. Debatable. What's Priest rank spell called, guys? Hold up, I'm looking it up because I can't remember the name of it. Condemn. I was thinking Conviction. It's Condemn. Devouring Plague. Really not so bad. Nothing died. Saved a shield. It doesn't even matter though. I need a draw. If I hit Ysera here, it may be game over. Ogre Mancer's a great draw though. That's the draw. Okay. Big damage output here too. They didn't even... I don't know. That Conviction, it's interesting. I might have just healed face. Like, I don't know. Maybe they were hoping to snipe this or something. Maybe they were hoping for breakpoints on Condemn. I'm not sure, but this is a nuts minion right now. 4/8 against Priest that denies their spell usage. That's... it doesn't get any better, I don't think. Yeah, I guess they were probably looking for Condemn. which is actually one of the better cards against Ogromancer. That's another renew, a Flash Heal Zyrella. That's really good. I am out of plays. Oh, this lives? Oh my god, it lived, actually. Oh, wow. So Zyrella maybe not that great in hindsight. Pretty good, but not that great. And now we're hitting our sweet spot. This is the sweet spot where now we actually do have plays. Now I need to find Ysera and Magurgle Primes, because otherwise, I don't know if we're going to get far enough. I don't know. Can they respond to this, though? Is it like a spreading or a Soul Mirror already? Spreading Plague, I said. Oh my god, what a nightmare. They're going to buff their minions. It's pretty cool. I don't know that they have many, but it's still pretty fun. Definitely Tyrion time. Could maybe hit for 16 next turn. Be cool. No mind control, I guess. It's nice. What does Priest do against Tyrion these days? There's like Shadowward Ruins and stuff. Shadowward Deaths, I mean, too. No Hysteria on this, of course, with only one minion out right now. Some big dragon to get in the way, maybe. Yeah, there's the death. So this is theoretically, you know, 23 damage. Ooh. Yikes. I think I gotta clear that, unfortunately, no. This is a pretty decent way to do that. While still hitting face. Which is definitely, and still developing a threat, by the way. That's nice. So we might have a good breakpoint here if anything lives, but 10 mana is like now Conviction's nuts against this. Or Condemn, my god, if they have a second one, it's nuts here. Looks like they're gonna play a dragon though, maybe. Do they have the second Condemn? Dealing 3 damage on this is just insane on this board. Maybe should have considered that, but I didn't want to lose the face attack, right? We have too close of a breakpoint for lethal here. Ysera's slow. That's not enough. That's game. They can only remove 1 minion here. I'm left with 12 plus 8. Buffed Ysera's too slow. Do they have any other discounted stuff? They didn't discount anything either. They're done. It's over. GG. The game plan panned out perfectly. Magurgle Prime too. Wow, what a draw. Boop. 10-10 Alex for the win. Cool. Sermon putting in work. Runthak putting in work. That was a great example of exactly what this deck can do. Okay, Paladin mirror match. Now, I don't anticipate this being much of a mirror match. Now, the cool thing here is we're seeing our tutor in action. Don't need to keep Invigorating Sermon. I know Knight of Anointment will find it while still giving me an early game play. So that's perfect. Invigorating Sermon's our only holy spell. This is guaranteed to find it, which is really kind of the whole point of this deck, right? Ooh, beautiful. And we'll hold this first day of school in case we hit a High Abyss Allura. That gives us a chance to cast an Invigorating Sermon for free, kind of like Ramp Paladin used to do with Tip the Scales, but obviously far less impactful. You know, super slow effect usually, unlike Tip the Scales, which was like a quick game-winning sort of effect. That said, to maximize tempo here, we'll go ahead and play it now. Gibberling, huh? You know what? Let's tempo the Gibberling as a 1/1. There is a very slim chance it lives until the Invigorating Sermon and makes some value on board, but we don't have a lot of spells in this deck, so I think getting greedy with it's pretty silly. And just tempo the Guardian Augmerchant there as well. We have a lot of Divine Shields in this list as well, so, you know, no need to hold for a Divine Shield value, and we could just gain the board. Denying board against Paladin's awesome because they have buff follow-ups, right? Hand of Vidal, that sort of stuff. We want to shut that down. Crab Rider, okay. Interesting not clearing the Guardian Augmerchant. I mean, as far as like the board is concerned, it doesn't matter. Oh my god, we actually hit the Allura. No, so sad. I don't know why. I mean, on the off chance I wanted to go face, I wonder why. The Knight of Anointment doesn't have anything in particular that's like a bonus effect on board that I can think of. Interesting. Same difference if you're expecting a trade back, but allows more face damage if you're not. I don't know. Share your thoughts below if you can tell me why that might be. Maybe preserving health for a pin flinger? I don't think that makes that much sense, though. We'll see. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Invigorating Sermon on 4 is cool, but again, it's a little slow. Always a little slow. Ogremancer on 5 is awesome. Runthak on 5 could be amazing, too. Particularly if we get this Ogremancer really buffed up, because between the Sermon and the Runthak, it's already going to have +2/+2. This becomes a 5/9, which outside of exactly Libram of Justice is pretty hard for Paladin to deal with. So we'll see. Not popping the shield preemptively here. That might indicate this interacts with this minion on hit, which will hit first, of course, and then Invigorating Sermon to restore that Defiant Shield. Didn't need stats yet anyway. Cool. Big 5/3. Everything's buffed. Where is that first day of school? If I drew the first day of school right now, we'd be guaranteed to hit the Invigorating Sermon off of the Allura. And you might say, like, why would you build your whole deck around this, like, 50-50 off Allura most of the time? And not have, like, you know, only Wand Maker. And it's because it's just not a good enough payoff, like Tip the Scales is, you know? It's just not a good enough payoff, so. Okay, Runthak here. Not as interesting. I think I'm going to go ahead and just drop the Ogremancer, because if he wants to use buffs on these, play more secrets, we start shutting him down a little bit. Now, I am, of course, a tad scared here of that 6 damage on the Wind Fury, which could get worse if, you know, Hand of Doll or whatever other follow-up could make that pretty scary, but I think I can take one turn here to stabilize an Ogremancer and hope for the best. Now we have Runthak. Oh, and a Broom even. Cool, okay. We could go Allura Broom so that I have more on board to trade, because we're pretty likely to proc potentially an Avenge and a Noble Sack here. Oh, we can also go this route. That's even more trade value. 7 damage in trades. Yeah, we might do that. And I can Divine Shield the Ogremancer as well. Now, that said, the trades here are a little more awkward sometimes, but I think it's still okay. So, for instance, we want to proc a Noble Sack. Oh, Galloping Savior too. Oh, of course. Oh my god. This actually makes things a little awkward because of Noble Sack. It might be Omayag and Avenge as well, though. We may not have a Noble Sack. Let's just see. Cool, okay. Avenge should... This might be awkward if it hits here. This is totally fine, though. And, yeah, we're good to clear. Okay. Actually, not too bad. I always forget about this Galloping Idiot, though. Man, everybody does, right? That's why it's good. It's like we'll never play around it. And they are done, because their hand must have been all spells. And Ogremancer just too big, and they knew they were never going to get tempo back. Let's go!
Yeah.